You know, I try really hard not to hate on Jar Jar Binks. I do. I make an effort to. Not only is it the low-hanging fruit, but I feel like there's just a little bit too much noise about the character. But even I don't like Jar Jar Binks. I never have. I didn't like him back when I first saw Episode 1, and I haven't liked him every other time I've watched Episode 1. So Jar Jar shows up in this, and my first thought is, in affable ignorance, oh man, they're finally going to be able to do something with Jar Jar, and the very first thing he does is send the ship into a spiral, which she has to pull it out of because he's a bungling idiot. I'm sure he means well, but when you reach the point of actually literally destroying your only ship that's an escape route, I mean, ignoring the fact that they were in immediate danger, destroying the ship also led to the problem of, that's a very expensive ship that was just destroyed because someone went, whoopsie. That's the kind of person who needs to be in a straitjacket. I'm not even kidding about that. There's a level of bungling that's acceptable. This is past that. So, as horrible as it sounds, I don't actually have much to say other than Jar Jar's an idiot, and 3PO's, The only moment in the entire episode that actually made me laugh was when the droid was like, okay, go find the Jedi. And we heard Roger, 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 in short succession. It's the only thing that got a chuckle out of me. Everything else just, okay. Newt Gunray is, of course, a moron, and I really lament that, because there's actually some interesting potential here. One of the Republic's most common problems was the fact that for every well-meaning person there were 50 corrupt people. And even if the corrupt people didn't deliberately get in the way of things happening to help other member states or planets or whatever, there was simply so much bureaucracy in the way. And I kind of liked that. I always liked that concept, because it means that the initial premise of this episode is actually really great. Here is Rhodia, which is a member state of the Republic, which is being tempted away by the Separatists, and yet it's totally understandable why. They are literally in a bad resource dearth. They're quite literally starving. And the Republic has done nothing to help. Not because the Republic hates them, or because the Republic is evil, but just because the Republic is a republic, with all of the gears and machinations that involves. Even Amidala, who obviously personally cares about these people and her uncle, has nothing to offer them. Just platitudes. By contrast, Newt Gunray promised food, which was coming immediately, and, if I might be so bold, with the incredible wealth of the CIS, being able to help give a relief package to this planet would probably be a drop in the bucket for them. Maybe not a drop, not a big deal, one little stone in the bucket kind of a deal. And that's why I say that Newt Gunray's an idiot, because it would have made this episode so much more interesting and made the dilemma so much more powerful if the Separatists really did come with actual relief effort, really did actually offer support to these people who the Republic had unintentionally abandoned. And thus we could see the dilemma and the gray on both sides, and thus we could see how things are so obvious from a personal perspective, and yet it would be so much more of an interesting problem for Amidala to face, for Padme to face. As is, she preaches the whole time about how stupidly evil the Separatists are, and she proves to be right, because they're stupidly evil. Anyways, failed execution of what I thought was a very interesting premise, and Jar Jar. Not a fan. We'll see how this goes when we continue with the Newt Gunray arc, because surely he won't end up getting killed on Mustafar. That would be silly. See you around, guys.